Hi everybody, very welcome to my channel. We've been having a little break. I always do that beginning of the year, but we are back into filming now. And today we're going to do something really exciting. I'm going to cook some kangaroo steaks. And so the only ones we can get here is these ones, and they are frozen. So I've defrosted them. It's leg steaks. They are high in protein, low in fat, and they should be totally fine for the Dukan diet. I have cooked them a couple of times before and they are great, but unfortunately they are quite expensive here in Bulgaria. But it's a little luxury on our celebration day, which is Sunday. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to add our Konjac noodles with it. And then we're going to have a look in our greenhouse what we can add to this to make it a little bit more interesting. And I'm also going to see what I can find in the fridge. So let's take a look in the greenhouse then, what we can pick. Nice fresh greens, hopefully. And we can make a lovely light dish out of these ingredients. So in a couple of minutes, we'll show you our greenhouse. Okay, so we're in the greenhouse now. Let's see what's looking good here today. This has been growing over the winter. So we've got lovely beetroot in the back, little baby leeks coming along nicely. Then I've got a bit of Swiss chard here with different colors, yellow and red. And in the front, some lovely lamb's lettuce that I'm going to do some salads this week with. We can just walk along a little bit here because we've got some other goodies growing. At the end here, you will see I started harvesting a bit of pak choi. Now today, I think we can just cut ourselves a generous amount of pak choi. Just behind it is some radishes. We can maybe use some of them for a little garnish. And then we've got Chinese cabbage and some kale in the back. So I'm going to cut some of the Chinese cabbage and the pak choi and just a couple of radishes for our garnish. So that I've got a bowl here and a little knife. So here we are. So I'm just going to cut them quite close to the stem because I like the white bits as well. Give you some good texture. I absolutely love pak choi. There we go. So I'm just making a small batch here. It's just for 3 people. Have to wash it obviously. There we go. And then we'll do a bit of the cabbage here. Now this is lovely. It's a very kind of mild tasting cabbage, not too strong. There we go. So we've got plenty here. We can do lots of stir fries. Oh, we've got a little slug here. So yeah, totally organic, all this stuff. And that is what we are all about. So here we go. So that's a nice bowl full. And that will just shrink to almost nothing. So you can add a bit more depending on how hungry you are. So we'll get a couple of radishes out. I think these are our long, thin radishes. Let's have a look here. Oh, they're so great. Oh, wow, look at this one. Here we go. Isn't that great? So I'm just going to cut a couple of those up just to sprinkle on top as a little garnish. Let's have a look here. Here's another lovely one. I see we've been nibbled a bit, so we might grab another one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Great. Excellent. So we'll take those along. And then I'll show you in the kitchen what else we can find in the fridge. Okay, so we're back in the house. I've now washed the pak choi and the Chinese cabbage. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the white bit of the stems off because they cook a little bit longer. And then I'm just going to stir the greens in at the end. So that's what I'm going to do. We also managed to get a couple of radishes. I'll use these just for garnish, just for a bit of color. In the fridge I discovered another carrot, so I can use that as well for a bit of color at the end. And then if you were wondering what to do with your broccoli stalks, I'm going to dice them very small and add them. So they're going to cook longer. So the time I put the onion in, I'm going to put the broccoli in, give that a head start, and then we'll put the other stalks in, and then after that stir the greens leaves in there. So the onion, just from the pantry, so we're going to add that as well for a bit of flavor. Then our kangaroo steaks here. Now this is a very small amount, it's 300 grams, and I want to serve that to 3 people. So we're going to grill them on both sides, just in a pan fry, and then I'm going to cut them in really thin slices and just like kind of sprinkle them on top of our noodles. So I think that's going to be lovely. The greens is going to go underneath. Here's our Konjac noodles. And then in a little dish in the front here, I've got a bit of sweet chili sauce with no added sugar and a bit of teriyaki. Ideally, I'm looking for a bit of low sodium soy sauce, but whatever you've got in your cupboard. Then I've got some mustard here. This is the whole grain mustard. Sometimes better to just have the smooth for this kind of dish. So I'm just going to rub a little bit of that on the kangaroo meat, because that's kind of the French way of cooking a really nice steak. A little bit of salt and pepper, and that's everything you're going to need. So let's get onto the steaks then. Let me just show you what to do there, and then I'll prep up the veggies. So a little bit of mustard. I didn't give you quantities today, but I'll put it in the description. So all you need to do is spoon, maybe a half a teaspoon of mustard, even a teaspoon of mustard. Now in the kitchen, chefs would just go and rub it with their hands, massage it into the meat. You can do this. Spread it on. There we go. You can turn them over and do the same. I've got it on paper here, so let's make sure the paper doesn't come with it. Here we go. There we are. Bit more mustard on the other side. Don't be shy with the mustard. Just make sure it doesn't have too much salt in there. So that's it. So that's all I do. It doesn't have to be all perfect and precise. But if you want to, you can massage it into the meat. Then we're going to just season it a bit. A little bit of salt. Here we go. So the idea is not to overcook them. I've cooked kangaroo just a couple of times, and I realized you need to treat it like young veal or young venison and not overdo it. A little bit of salt and pepper on the other side as well. There we go. So that's ready for cooking. I'll put a little time lapse on for you while I do the veggies, and then we'll just get cooking. Okay, so I've got my little daughter here, Isla. She's going to help us. We're going to do a little stir fry with our veggies. So she's the best at making the stir fry.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, let's get started. So the pan is on, so we have to be careful. And then I've got a bit of olive oil here. So we are 3 people, so you can use up to 3 tablespoons when you're cooking, but I'm saving a bit for the kangaroo. Can I eat kangaroo today?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, so exciting. Okay, so now you can pass to Mummy the onions and you can put them all in. That's it. Give it a wiggle. Check if they're all out. That's it. And now we're going to do some stirring. That's it. That's it. So we're just cooking the onions lightly just so that they becomes a bit see-through, just sauteing them. That looks good. Okay, so now the next thing is our broccoli stalks that we chopped really fine, just all of them. There we go. Mummy, give you a wee hand. You can stir. That's it. That's okay. And now while that's cooking, you can put some fresh garlic. You can put some nice fresh ginger. I don't have any today, so I'm going to put a little bit of dried garlic. You can just sprinkle some in the pan. Oh, I would say a teaspoon or so, even a wee bit more. That looks lovely. What do you think?
Yeah.
It smells good. Give it a wee stir. That's it. It's going to be such a yummy lunch. Okay, so now what we're going to do, if you lift this up, we're going to add just a tiny bit of water. Mummy will give you a little bit of water. So when you add the water, just carefully pour it in slowly. That's it. And we're going to put the lid on just maybe 2 or 3 minutes, just to cook the broccoli stalks a bit, to steam them. Okay, so that's been 2-3 minutes. So, ooh, a bit of steam coming out there. That's all right. Now you can pass me the pak choi stalks and the cabbage stalks. We'll put that in there as well. And you give that a little stir to try and mix it a little bit. That's it. So now I'm turning the heat up again. When it was steaming, it was just kind of a low heat. And if any time it looks a little bit dry, we just add a little bit of water. There we go. Can Mummy give it a little stir?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just making sure everything is mixed together.
It's going to be very tasty.
Oh, I think so too. We'll give that a couple of minutes. And then we can put our noodles in. So we can bring the noodles a bit closer and just put it up here. And then with your hands you can put the noodles in, sprinkle them on top. Yeah, even now. There we go. So we've washed these noodles, we boiled them a bit, we fried them in a pan, and they are ready to go into our dish. Okay, so now the next thing that's going to go, Mommy will take, this is a bit full. So this is a bit of teriyaki sauce, but you can also use just a bit of soya sauce. And then now sweet chili, that's our favorite.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just to give it a bit of juice.
grate without the spatula.
That's it. And now we're going to just wiggle
Mix
it a bit. Just wiggle
Wiggle
it.
Wiggle it in. Like that. Wiggle it a bit.
And now we're going to put some leaves in.
Take a big handful.
Mm-hmm.
Sprinkle it anywhere. And another handful. Am I going to use anyone?
Maybe another one or two. And we'll keep the rest for tomorrow. I think that's okay.
Yeah. It's like in our forest. It will taste so good when we finished cooking them.
Mm. So time to cook the steaks. So I'll use my other 1.5 tablespoon of oil on this lot. So a little bit of oil in the pan. If you're not on Dukan, you can put a bit of butter in, but we are trying to keep it low fat here. So in goes the steak, nice and hot. You need only about 1 minute to give it a bit of color. Okay, so here's our greens and our noodles, which looks lovely. So I'm going to dish up for us. Here we go. So yeah, we've added quite a lot of greens. I've only used 1 portion of the Konjac. So you can add a bit less greens or you can add more Konjac. Let's have a look here. Probably do 4 portions out of it. Okay, let's move that up. Now for our lovely kangaroo meat here. We've just sliced that up. I'm actually going to hold off a little bit with that. First I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of carrot on top, just for a little bit of color and crunch. There we go. We're just going to kind of layer this. I'm going to season this slightly more, a little bit more pepper. There we go. And now I'm going to add our kangaroo. I'm just going to do it with my hands. Here we go. Put a bit of kangaroo meat on top. There we go. And then I'm going to ask Isla to garnish it a little bit with radishes. That's right. You can put a bit of radishes on for Mummy. I say just sprinkle them. And then we're going to put a bit of coriander on as well.
To make it more flavor and to look nicer.
To look better. You want to go around this side? Okay. So can you reach it there? Oh, that looks lovely. Ooh, we're going to have a delicious lunch. Thank you so much, my darling. That was very kind of you to help Mummy. Okay, we're going to say goodbye to everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something and you got some ideas today. If you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Give us a like, share the video. Until next time, bye.